What did you make of LeBron's comments that he was exhausted, burnt? I thought it was just a human response. Others are obviously, as always, reading other things into what LeBron is saying. What do you think, Brian?
He gave more effort in that series than just about any other series in his career, and it's just talk about robbing from Peter to pay Paul to get through this series. LeBron had cramps in that game. He's had cramps 2 or 3 other times in his career. He once told me that regular season sweat and playoff sweat are different. It's just when you play in a playoff game, it takes more out of you. And he has cramps when he gets exhausted. And those have happened in later rounds. A couple times it's happened in the finals. I think one time it happened in the second round. The fact that he got cramps in the game, which is one of his biggest enemies, is just it shows me that it may only be technically a second-round series, but I feel like he's used 2 series worth of energy already. And if the Cavs are going to have any chance, and I will say this, I do think the matchups against Toronto favor them more than the matchups against Indiana. I think there's certain advantages they didn't have against Indiana.
Like what?
But at the Cavs, well, the Indiana big men, I don't know how much you want to go X's and O's, but the Indiana big men are very versatile, and they gave the Cavs a lot of problems. The Toronto big men, they're more, traditional. They have power forwards and they have centers, and the Cavs have been able to isolate Serge Ibaka and really run him rampant with Kevin Love playing center during the regular season. In fact, they beat them twice in the last 3 weeks of the season. They beat them twice. And they have a history of beating them in the playoffs. They've beaten them the last 2 years. So I think there's some slight advantages. But if the Cavs continue to try to get 40 points from LeBron every single game, he's just not going to last. It has nothing to do with him. It has to do with simple mechanics of the body. And to have them have to turn around and play a game tomorrow, a game 1, a huge advantage for Toronto. This happened the opposite direction 2 years ago. Toronto played a 7-game series with the Miami Heat, had to come in for the Eastern Conference Finals on a 1-day rest when Cleveland had some time because Cleveland had taken care of their business because they were a better team and a higher seed. And I think the Raptors lost the first 2 games by like a combined 50 points. And so that's the kind of shoe on the other foot situation that the Cavs have going into Toronto tomorrow. And the emphasis that they've put on LeBron is unsustainable. I think everybody would agree with that.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.